Good afternoon. My name is Jim Watts. I'm with the Transportation Security Administration. The Transportation Security Administration is a component of the Department of Homeland Security, and we're responsible for the security of the nation's transportation systems. Primarily at the airports, TSA secures all of the passenger screening and baggage screening before you get onto your flights. We employ approximately 50,000 people from Alaska to Puerto Rico to ensure your travels are safe and secure.
They look like typical graphs.
They're going over what they actually projected.
But the information in this room is designed to cut down the time you get stuck waiting in an airport security line.
Well, the Airport Operations Center is really a game changer.
ABC7 cameras got a behind-the-scenes look at the Transportation Security Administration's new Airport Operations Center. The TSA created after extremely long lines like this started popping up last spring. Here, information on the number of people screened, the number of security lines open, the staffing needed, and wait times are reported in real time, hour by hour at the top 29 airports.
This is what actually happened at Dulles today. So you're looking at well below 5 minutes, standard versus projected. This 30-minute yellow line here, this is our standard.
Anytime that line gets over the expected wait time, an issue can pop up here on this board. 29 airports with information, just like we saw with a real-time issue in Houston earlier today.
What mitigation are you doing to make up a difference?
A screening machine at that airport malfunctioned, creating backups, so folks in the Airport Operations Center stepped in to assist.
We may deploy additional officers. Where appropriate, when we can, we open additional lanes. We'll work with airports and airlines if we need to move passengers to an adjacent or nearby checkpoint as well.
Information gathered is shared in real time nationwide to keep the traveling public not only moving, but safe every time they fly.
Any U.S. airport can actually call in. It's not just the top airports. They can call the Airport Operations Center. They can ask for assistance. They can point out issues 24/7.
In Arlington, Brianne Carter, ABC7 News.
Within the business intelligence application development timeline at TSA, we did not have a tool when TSA was formed in 2002. So we started the basic data entry of throughput and wait time and manual reporting without the use of MicroStrategy. We realized in 2004 that we really needed an intelligence tool to help us with the analysis, to create dashboards, and a number of the reports. So the first was rolled out in 2004. We had updates in 2009 to create what we're actually using for COVID-19 tracking. Some of that initial capability in 2009 to build data entry and embed it within the MicroStrategy business intelligence tool. With 2016, we updated to include more of the MicroStrategy multi-source so that we're able to actually report off transaction databases. This has helped us significantly with the Airport Operations Center dashboard, which you saw a demo of. And in 2021 and in future, we're going to use more of the capabilities and features that MicroStrategy is building within the product suite. We'll continue to expand some of the processes that we have at TSA and reach out before we currently track data, and then we'll reach out beyond. So we're working with other offices to really improve that data management. The architecture itself, we talked a little bit about the multi-source. That's very important for the real-time reporting that we have to get access to the data and get that from the field. So from the 400 and plus airports to headquarters, and then across from airports as we're talking and sharing information and getting updates throughout the day. We also have a daily extract, transform, and load process to pull data into the business intelligence warehouse. And the business intelligence warehouse contains all that historical information. So if you've seen the media reports that says all-time TSA wait time or throughput, that's where that information is coming from. We have information dating back to 2004. As far as the implementation itself, we have teams. We have an analytical team that is more on the business side. They create performance metrics and targets. We'll show that in the COVID-19 reports. They have user-developed reports, ad hoc reports, a great deal of audit so that we can see who ran a report, who changed data, what the previous data value was, when it was changed, who changed it. We also have executive dashboards and external reporting. The operational team, and this is more on the technical side, we work to have a easy of use, so single sign-on, consistent look and feel across the reports and dashboards, consistent look and feel across the data entry that goes into those dashboards. Real-time reporting, drill down capability, drill down in one hierarchy, and as within MicroStrategy, we are very mindful of the continued need to be able to drill across hierarchies. So we're going from location to date. On the data reuse, we want to create as much information as we have and see how we can reuse it. We find that combining data, and this is within one airport, they're able to create reports and create good practices, and we're able to share that for all airports. So this has been a very good way of communicating business needs and operational needs. We have a good requirements team that continuously, based on updated management directives and priorities at leadership, are able to go in and make updates to the tools, updates to the data, the way the data is collected, and then follow that data through to the reports. And then we have experienced application developers that can take that information and update that into our development, test, and production environments. We focus a good bit on data quality. The MicroStrategy intelligence platform currently delivers over 45,000 reports per day to more than 40,000 users. It supports a full suite of reporting styles, and we find that that's very helpful in being able to provide the data where it's needed and when it's needed. The powerful visualizations that we'll talk a little bit more about include data from applications across TSA. The two that we have most interest in from oversight and a stakeholder are PMIS and AIM. PMIS provides that customer throughput and wait time. AIM provides that COVID-19 reporting for consumables. An additional view is showing how much the tool is used, the daily call-offs. So we use the system, the integrated system, to track call-offs. So when employees, if they're sick or if they're not able to come to work, we're able to get that information right away for all airports, roll that up to headquarters, and then we're able to then track additional details for employees all times, so we can see as far as employees that are rolling off of TSA, new employees that are being hired. We track all of the reports, and I mentioned the audit functions. MicroStrategy is excellent for that. We can see about the created reports and the queries and the active accounts. There's just so much information in the tool. The lost and found items. This is from a customer service standpoint of great interest. If you're traveling through the airports and you lost your laptop or you left something, we have a process where you can contact TSA at a number of locations, ask TSA, call the airport directly, check the website, and they're able to look from one airport to another airport and find your information if you found your item and help return it. We also track from cost savings, and we have recognized over $18 million cost savings and avoidance each year by use of the tool. Daily reports, I mentioned tracking audit and keeping track of how well the system is being used, what's being used the most. This is a summary, but we're able to look and see which reports are run the most, which reports are run the least, see if there are any outages, and see kind of impact to the users. Also, on a typical weekday, we're able to look by hour and really slice and dice that information by report jobs and execution time. We can see if the system is performing as expected, and if not, we can try to reach out and work through the teams to determine, is this an issue, and is this something that we need to work on and address? On the Airport Operations Center dashboard video, here's a little bit of snapshot of this. So this monitors passenger throughput and wait times by checkpoint using that visual insight and using that multi-source link to the transaction data. We're able to refresh that every 5 minutes. There is a way of tracking this and showing the breakout by populations as well. So we're able to look at pre-check. If you've signed up for pre-check, we certainly encourage that, because it's from a customer standpoint. You don't have to take off your shoes. You don't have to take things out as your laptop, and it's a more improved experience for both TSA and for the passenger. This visualization, the Airport Operations Center, the way this works is that we monitor the largest airports in great detail, so across every single checkpoint at all of those airports, and then track any anomalies, so any additional wait time or things that are happening at that airport, at that checkpoint, and we're able to then share that information, communicate across the entire enterprise in near real time. One of the challenges that we've had in the past is with employee names and IDs in different applications. So in order to get one view of the employee across, say, training and finance and human capital, we use a master reference table, and we actually hash the identifier, and then we're able to correlate data between systems. This has been extremely helpful in that we may have the same first name and last name at an airport. So we're able to go through and identify and make sure that we can pull that information and make sure that we don't have confusion when we're starting to look at employees. Another of our challenges has been with the data feed monitoring. We have over 20 systems that feed information. I mentioned that once a day, extract, transform, and load. So we have all this information coming into the business intelligence data warehouse, but we need to know that information made it, and how much, also from the standpoint of what are we expecting to receive. So the way that we've done this is actually using a MicroStrategy report, and that is fed out through the subscriptions. So it comes every morning, and we can see how many of the metrics, we see if there's a break of the data, and then we can see from the standpoint of it's okay to run those reports because we know that the data is available for the employees or for the users to get. The way they get that information a lot is through subscriptions. So we have the Office automation feature with Microsoft Office, and we're able to integrate that information and then provide subscriptions. So some users get all their activity and work through email. They don't necessarily have to log into the system, find the report, run the report, pull that information, export that information, and then begin. Another challenge that we've had is through data visualization. So within the TSA organization, we have something called hubs and spokes. That's a management and an oversight function. So we'll have one manager that's responsible for a hub and the associated spokes. And we needed a way to visualize that, because from a communication standpoint, we want to know who to reach out to if there are issues. And this is another view of the dashboard that we have. This also has this pre-check breakout. So for those that may be interested in PreCheck, there's information on the TSA.gov site as far as how to sign up. We are able to, through visualizations, look across the entire system at real-time throughput, wait time, and application performance reporting. We're able to see how well the system is performing, and we're able to check and then address anomalies and areas of attention. We have additional visualization through the Esri plugin, and this allows us to really get a little bit more detail on the specific airports. This is helpful because we don't have to create another tool and then integrate that tool. MicroStrategy has done that for us. One additional challenge that we've had from the standpoint of how well are the airports performing would be reports and dashboards with targets. So what we're able to do is for each month, we're able to look at approximately 40 metrics across the nation, the region, and the airport level. These are auto-refreshed from intelligence cubes. We have self-service administration that we are able to create and train TSA federalized users to go in and create these dashboards, work from a requirement standpoint to look at the data, work with the requirements team if they're missing data sets or missing data elements, and then work with the application team to be able to pull those in on more than likely through ETL or through these cubes to be able to then display all of that information in one view, one safe source of the truth. And this has worked extremely well for TSA. One of the reasons that it's worked well is that we're a longtime customer. So we don't have to create something and start over. We can build upon what we've created over the years. And then finally, this COVID-19. So the airports needed a simple way to make sure that the supplies were getting to the airports, that this included the gloves, the masks, hand sanitizer, and other supplies. There are over 200 types of supplies, type and titles of supplies that needed managing. So it could be a daunting effort, but because we had so much data management built into the airport information management system, built into the MicroStrategy business intelligence tool, because they share the same database, we have this embedded business intelligence. It was a low level of effort, or lower level of effort. So we also have automated alerts for low supply. We have projections on when do we think that they need to order. And then we have an integrated process for requesting new supplies from the warehouses. So this has helped TSA and helped keep the public as safe as we can from supplies management. Here's the actual dashboard. So we were able to look at the airport. We'll break it down by grouping. So TSA uses categories. Category X is the largest airports. Category 1 is the next largest. And then they have other groupings because this has to do with the way data is aggregated and the way they're able to purchase based on these aggregations. And then down to the item level, we look at the count of the information, the items. We look at, based on historical, the consumption. And then we're able to look at, through calculation, the daily average. And then they're based on the supply. They're able to see how many days supply they have and then what they need to order. And then they're able to look in the future on which day those supplies would be expected to run out. So this is more of a longer process management effort to really make sure that we're prepared as best as possible for the supplies. There are other reports we integrate with the visual insight for all federalized airports. We integrate with the Esri geospatial so that at a glance we're able to see where those supplies are. And they also have, if they need, a way to transfer supplies from one location to another. Okay, so that's really what I wanted to share. I think MicroStrategy has been very helpful. The airport information management, that data collection and data management tool that we have embedded within the system, has really helped to improve our data management for a variety of items, whether it be lost and found, whether it be customer throughput, whether it be wait times, or in this case, whether it be those critical COVID-19 supplies. So I thank you for your time.